Hey, my name is Mike Orlando out of Galveston, Texas, and this is the animal. The 74 Gremlin, been stretched to 125-inch wheelbase. Small block Dodge, maxed out at 420 cubic inch. Quick change rear ends, 3-speed transmission, trans brake. The best part is right behind me here is this 671 blower. And I just had the blower hat put on it. And Frankie Taylor, Madman Frankie Taylor, come to my house 2 days ago. Helped me set it up, which we did a pretty good job. I couldn't find anybody else to do it, and he finally showed up, and I sure learned a whole lot in a short period of time. And but it's about a 2,900-pound car. It's like sitting in a recliner, literally, when you sit in the car. I'm real comfortable driving no matter what. So I used to dirt track, so you know, getting sideways don't bother me. I don't want to, but in a drag car, it seemed to me people get serious about it, you know. I got a poster of Ed Roth when I was in the junkyard business, and he signed the poster one junk man to the other, you know, Ed Roth, and it's still hanging up on my wall. And I traded off dirt modified for a pretty decent Gremlin body. I really wasn't looking for a Gremlin, but as soon as I seen it, Ed Roth come to mind, and basically it's kind of like coming to you in a dream. You need to build it. Well, it started out as just a little hot rod, you know, rat rod / hot rod, and it's now a full-blown hot rod. I mean, the car never be finished. It's always upgraded. It is street legal in Texas. It's I got tags and insurance on it. It's not your typical street legal car. I do have a set of 4-inch side pipes for it that makes it somewhat sounding legal, but the only thing it's missing is a windshield wiper. Don't rain there that much here. When it does, it rains so much that we don't need a windshield wiper. It took 4 years to build the car. Everything was planned out. When I bought my springs, I got the same exact springs and shocks in it the day I built it. Didn't make much adjustment to it. Car goes straight. I've done several practice hits with it. Should be about a 550 in the eighth, hopefully better. It's a smooth car. I just talked to my transmission guy, and I've had more trouble with trans brakes in every last car I've had. So I just called them up, told them to build me 2 full manual reverse valve bodies. I'm done with the trans brake stuff, especially with this thing idling at 2,200 RPM. Any lower than that, it's a scientific balance of, you know, wide open throttle or idle, and there's a fine line between it, and it's a matter of taking a turn on that little rod right there of a half a square makes this thing act totally different. So I learned a lot in 4 hours with Frankie Taylor, and he's basically the fastest man in pro mod pretty much in the world. So I took his advice, and we scratched our heads on this thing, but everything that he did, I learned. So I kind of don't need him anymore, but you know, he said if I need you, if I needed him, give him a call. It just has to idle at 2,200 RPM. You can't get in the gas, but if I went through all 3 gears, it still runs 60 mile an hour without touching the gas pedal. You know, so I had to think about that. You know, and we've got a beautiful seawall down there in Galveston, and you know, the right time, you take it out and make a run down the seawall. You know, and we used to race out there on Cherry Hill, which was kind of cool. You know, back in the day. You'll hear it before you see it. I know that for sure. I got stories from, there were 3 guys on funny cars in Galveston, and all 3 of them had made a pass down the seawall with a funny car. This is back in the infancy of funny cars. They literally made a pass down the seawall. And the stories that I sat down with some of these old timers, if anybody out there ever gets the opportunity to walk up to somebody, an old guy, strike up a conversation with him. He can tell you stories. If you see he's still enjoying what he's doing, he's got some fantastic stories. I guarantee it. I mean, I'm a carpenter, a builder, remodeler, and I don't limit myself to just being that. Like I say, I learned how to do fuel injection the other day. I build motors, I build transmissions, I build rear ends. You know, if you count on everybody else to do that, you know, a dollar bill doesn't mean nothing. You know, I got very little money in this car, and it's going to go fast because I built every bit of it, the fiberglass, the chassis, you know, kind of like a one-stop shop. And that's why the car looks the way it does. It's got its own attitude like me. And that's why I'm called the animal.